Okay, in this video I want to talk about what they call these days narcissistic flying monkeys. A narcissist, and you say that, they're his or her flying monkeys. You know, like on The Wizard of Oz, the flying monkey goes off and does the witch's, evil witch, wasn't it? Whatever she says to do, does the work for her. Well, okay, and this, what we used to call them is just when you're ganged up on, you know, like somebody has a problem with you and the rest of their friends gang up on you. You know, that's what we used to call it. Okay, it would depend on the situation, of course, if, you know, it's more than one person. And it doesn't have to be one person who's narcissistic. It can be a group of people, and then they have their flying monkeys. It can be such a combination, really. But I had experienced this, and I was thinking about this morning for some reason. I don't know why. But I'd worked at this this one place years ago. I don't know how long ago. And the manager of it, the office manager, is for a surgeon. The office manager had quit, and I was the only one who really could do the things that the office manager does. And I'd already had problems at this place, you know. One of my sisters had got me hired there, and they didn't like her. I did not know that. And so their anger toward her went toward me. Okay. So, yeah, you know, all of like I said, all the anger they had toward her, they put on me. So this was a really, major twisted kind of situation as it was. And, I didn't know what I was walking into the line of fire to start off with. And she actually still worked, but she worked from home and was only there in the office every blue moon. So she still worked for this, surgeon. And, she'd leave, little sticky notes for people on certain things they needed to do. And there I was with them during the day. Yeah, they didn't, they took it out on me. Or they tried. But here's the thing, when you're ganged up on, and people are trying to gang up on you, and they're trying to take all their anger out, you can still protect yourself, but it's still affecting you in a negative way. That's how I feel. I could be wrong, Maybe you have enough that it doesn't affect you at all, but yeah, I would take up for myself, and however I handled it back then, I would take up for myself, but it's like there was no need to. Okay, so this office manager had quit, I think, before I did, or right after I started, I think. And I was the only one that could do certain things, and I was also the only one that knew anything about computers. And that was back in the day when we had a high-speed modem, which was a 9600 baud modem. And I was the only one that really knew enough about computers and software and everything to handle that part of it also, which I did. Yeah. Okay, much more to this story, including that the boss, the surgeon, he really liked me and my sister. She was actually a manager there, but the billing manager. And like I said, she worked from home. She wasn't there most of the time. But so she was still the boss of these, them in some ways. Well, then here I was. And the owner, like I said, the surgeon, he really liked us, and he called us the dynamic duo, okay? And all of this caused resentment from these other ones because that's just how they were. That was their problem, because they were slackers, too. They really were. They didn't want to do their work. And they wanted to come to work, get paid, not do anything, Seriously. So if you've ever been someone who actually does work and you work with slackers, you know what I mean. Where was I? So I worked at this place, and then they finally, after a long while, I was doing all these jobs, my job and the job of manager, all this stuff, and the little computer guru kind of thing. So they finally hired a manager. Well, the woman was nothing but a con artist, and she was awful person. One of these narcissistic people you hear about, and just downright awful. But she had the surgeon and the other staff just fooled, basically. But toward me, because she was the office manager, but my sister was the billing manager. Okay, and that was a big fight. You know, the big power struggle kind of thing. She wanted it all one way, all under her. You know, she was the type that had that kind of, you know, need to have all of the attention on her. You know, boy, when I think about how many different names we had for people like that. You know, people who, like, we'd say they have a goddess complex or something like that. Anyway. Okay, now the thing about it was, she never could. She wound up quitting, or maybe she got fired eventually after I quit. But she never could get it the way she wanted it because my sister had too much pull. She had been, she worked for this surgeon for years, many years, and he was not about to let her go, so the power struggle wasn't going to go that way. So what did she do? You got it. Take it out on me. Oh my God. It was like, then right before she came there, I started doing work from home, which I could do through my computer, and she got angry with that. You know, she didn't have her supply, you know, at work. Somebody to take it out on because I was not in the office very often after that point. So it was, when I was there, like I was starting to say, it was awful. You know, not only did I have the past staff that didn't like my sister, now I had this woman who has a power struggle between my sister, trying to be wanting everything her way. You know, like a little baby, like they are, you know, doing their little temper tantrums. Okay, so, you know, imagine how it is. Here you are. You're an actual mature adult. Okay, you're an adult, but you're dealing with these people who are immature. You know, we used to just call them that, but really, these days people know them as narcissistic, some cluster B personality. We don't know for a fact they have the disorder, but they certainly have enough of the traits and characteristics. Sure seems like it, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, having to deal with them, this kind of personality, you know, and it's just awful. But I've seen this. If it wasn't me that was the person they were after, it was somebody else. You know, I've seen it in, I think, every job I've ever had. You know, somebody is on attack from a group of somebody else. You know, a group from other people. One of these days, I'm going to get these videos out right. A group of other people. You know, there's somebody there, and then they're flying monkeys. Or it can even be the case of there's not actually a person there. It's like an invisible. Like there was no manager when I was working this job, so it was like there was this invisible manager. You see what I'm saying? And they were working to work against me, so I wouldn't be having that position. Does that make sense? Or, you know, like became the case with this woman that was the manager. She enlisted in a way. She conned them. Oh my goodness. I knew her true personality. She showed her true colors to me, but not to them. It included the surgeon and his PA. And they had always been friendly to me, always, you know, thought I did my job, you know. Okay, but that's what these, you know, narcissistic type people do. They get all these, you know, many of them. They get other people to assist them, really, in harming their target. You know, their target, their victim, whatever, you know. They enlist these other ones, and that's what she was doing. And when you're being ganged up on like that, like I was talking about earlier, what do? You know, here you are. You're the only mature adult at this point. You look around, and a lot of people say, "Well, you can't be the only." Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know, when you have, I've always thought of flying monkeys as more as narcissistic wannabes. You know, they're in training, something like that. And there's that immaturity there that goes along with it, quite often, if not always. So you're the adult trying to work with a bunch of kids who are throwing temper tantrums. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and I can remember saying, I wish I could just find some information somewhere that somebody would have an answer to this. I think I did this video before, but I deleted it. But, you know, somebody could have an answer. And what do you do? Well, you know what? I never found that answer. And you know what I feel about it is, find a new job. Seriously, quit this. You know, find a new job before you quit. Like people say, if it's so awful, it's stressing you out, hurting you, harming you, get away from it, you know, because this can take a while before it's found, this narcissistic person is found out, and you know, you're going to be damaged by that time, possibly. But unfortunately, you know, my experience in the past few years when I would try to go to some job was that it was always the case. And I'm not talking just for me, you know, because you would, you know, I don't know if that came out, but some people would just say, oh, it's just you. No, I would see them do it to other people, and other people have said the same. But the things I've been noticing lately is that maybe these bosses, like I've said in the video before, maybe these bosses are starting to get a hint that you gotta watch for the personality of the people and know the traits of the people that you hire, you know, the employees there. You know, when you're interviewing them, to find out. You know, because these are the people that will cause so much trouble on jobs. It's like, I think it was the next to the last place I worked. One of them, I just went in for the orientation and said, oh wait, no, it didn't show back up. But the job before that, I think it was that I only worked there for like a week, I think, and the woman told me, she flat out, she was like 70 years old. She had just started working there too as the executive director, and she told me, she said that there was a problem going on there, and I said, yeah, I know, and because it was a problem. And she said, the thing about it is, it's easier to fire you than it is to fire all of them. She knew it was them. She knew it was a problem with the staff. They did not want anybody new, including her. Okay, including her, there was one other woman that was hired too. Well, the other woman that was hired too, she wasn't qualified for that job. Narcissist, you know, just, you know, those red flashing neon lights when somebody's not qualified for a job but they somehow get it. Yeah, that's a good sign. And that's my opinion. Anyway, she went along with them. She, you know, then she had her flying monkeys. You see, she conned them. She sweet-talked them, she fooled them, she whatever. Yeah, so they did her bidding and everything. It caused me problems. She was really happy because I was the one that was qualified for her job. You got it? So she said that it was easier to, the boss, not her, but the boss said, you know, it was easier to let me go instead of having to fire all of them. For whom? Easier for whom? Her? You got it. Anyway, we know these people exist, and I am personally extremely happy that it happened, because who wants to invest time working at a place where they have this kind of scum? Okay? Plain and simple, scum. You know, you don't need it. Try to find a place that really fits you, you know. Okay, I'm not giving advice to anybody. Whatever you do, you got to pay your own consequences. But you know what I mean. Anyway, that's enough for this video for now. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video from this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you want to. Talk to you on another video. Bye.